Thank you for joining us today on Earthfile. Welcome to the program. I'm Ayola Kasim. Zoonosis represent a major public health problem, not just here in Nigeria, but around the world due to our close relationship with animals in agriculture, livestock, or draught animals as companion animals and in the natural environment. Many of these zoonoses don't receive enough attention and are therefore known as the neglected zoonoses. The diseases which are transferred from animals to humans, leave in their wake illness, deaths, and disabilities, with some of them occurring perennially as epidemics every year over the last 5 decades. Monkeypox is the latest one causing worry around the world. It is a zoonotic disease, which means it can spread between animals and people. The exact source of mpox in nature is not known, but it is believed that small mammals such as rope and sun squirrels, as well as giant pouch rats, may carry the virus in parts of West and Central Africa. Of course, there have been a lot of education and in some cases regulations on killing of some animals for meat. But who is watching to ensure this is effective, and can we effectively eradicate zoonotic diseases? These are our focus today on Earthfile. Just stay with us.
They
brought Ebola some time ago, saying bushmeat is bad. People should not eat it again. They shouldn't destroy our livelihoods.
Bushmeat sellers at the Oluwo market in Ekpe used to be very welcoming when Mark Ofwa visits, but not today. Their ask is simple. Don't ask us not to sell bushmeat, while others across the country are still selling.
Regarding bushmeat, regarding the pangolin they're talking about, they banned the sales of pangolin and we agreed that we will not sell pangolins again. But everywhere they sell bushmeat, they sell pangolins. It is being sold in Ijebu-Mushin, Itoki Market, Odogbolu. They even hang it for sale there. So why do they only focus on Ekpe Market always? And when we were selling it, we know what we were making, but they've stopped that. And we've accepted the ban. But what about the other places? When the hunters bring the pangolins and we reject them, they mock us saying other places are selling them. One of my suppliers has refused to sell to me because I rejected pangolins and others are buying them. We now bring 5 to 6 bushmeat and we can't even sell on time.
Latifat Olofin has been selling bushmeat for more than 30 years and is one of the executives of the sellers group.
There was a time when each of us would bring so much bushmeat and within an hour we would have sold everything. Some with 15 pieces, some 10, depending on the hunter's skill. But when the government said bushmeat is causing some diseases, our sales have dropped. We were not allowed to sell as we used to, and we are just managing what we sell now. We were told not to sell pangolins, whereas it is being sold everywhere, but banned in Ekpe. Everybody is selling it. Why do they only focus on Ekpe? It is in Ogun, Oyo, but banned here, and that is what we use to make ends meet, which is not okay.
The battle your state, when they were banned the Lekpe, and Google got enough to make money, that will live me when they banned everything till they were okay.
Contrary to the sellers' claims, there have been burden of some zoonotic diseases in Nigeria. Lassa fever remains a major public health challenge in West Africa, with Nigeria bearing a high burden. In 2023, a total of 1,227 cases of Lassa fever were detected and 219 people lost their lives. The death toll in 2024 rose to 163 as at the first week of August. Lassa fever is a viral hemorrhagic illness caused by contact with food or household items contaminated with rodent urine or feces. Nigeria has been recording persistent seasonal outbreaks of Lassa fever 52 years after it was discovered in the country. Rabies claims about 55,000 lives every year in the country, with rabid dogs accounting for about 94% of confirmed human infection, the World Health Organization stated. Monkeypox is a rare viral disease transmitted from animals to humans and also from human to human. Animal to human transmission may occur by direct contact with blood, body fluids, skin, or mucosal lesion of infected animals like monkeys, squirrels, and rodents. The symptoms include fever, body pain, weakness, sore throat, and rashes on the face, palms, soles of the feet, and other parts of the body. Several countries worldwide have also been affected by an unprecedented outbreak of monkeypox this year. Since the re-emergence of monkeypox in Nigeria in September 2017, the country has continued to record sporadic cases of the disease from states across the country. Earlier in August, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control said 39 confirmed cases and 0 deaths from monkeypox have been recorded across 33 states and the Federal Capital Territory. Monkeypox killed 6 people in the country in 2022. And cholera, a disease of the intestinal system caused by a bacteria called Vibrio cholera, has affected many this year. As of 30th of June 2024, a total of 2,102 suspected cases and 63 deaths have been recorded across 33 states and 122 local government areas, with a case fatality rate of 3.0% since the beginning of the year. It is usually transmitted through the fecal-oral route, which means from feces to mouth, or from hands contaminated with a bacteria put in the mouth.
We have always had zoonotic diseases. As a matter of fact, statistics shows us that 75% of infectious diseases we see in humans are contracted from animals. Now, it is becoming more apparent now because for 2 reasons. One, human beings are now actively interacting with animals more than before. While we were growing up, you only see wild animals in the zoo. The only animals we were comfortable with were the dogs, the cats, the goats, the sheep, and in some instances, camels. But now people are domesticating wild animals, very, very wild animals. So there's more interaction between animals and humans. The second thing is that as the population of humans grow, we need to increase our own habitat. And in increasing our habitat, we are moving closer. We are having to go into the habitat of these wild animals. This is taking us, we reduce their habitat, they come in contact more with human beings. So those 2 things particularly are tending towards predisposing humans to contracting zoonotic or diseases from animals.
The reality is the situation in Ekpe mirrors what is happening across the country. In Nigeria, bushmeat is more than just food. It's a culinary tradition and a trade. Despite the risk of zoonotic diseases like Ebola and Lassa fever, it is believed that about 45% of the population consumes bushmeat regularly. The hunger for the meats of wild species is still high, and to many who sell them, there is still big market that needs to be satisfied. Many here still don't understand the reason behind the ban. Makofua's Wild Africa before now had provided chicken to the group in Ekpe, hoping that this will support the sellers' livelihood.
They brought chicken for us, Noila, and they all died. We were not used to rearing them. Some died in some people's care, although some other people were able to sell a few. But most of them died as it was not a business we knew anything about before.
I'm very quick to talk on their behalf and say these guys are not bad people. They are not criminals. They didn't wake up this morning and say they're going to break the laws. They are only trying to survive. They're only trying to live. It's from this trade that they get money to feed their children, send them to school. This is their source of livelihood. So I believe it shouldn't just be enforcement on the part of the government. There should be education. Let them know that, oh, this is why we are saying do not sell XYZ. This is why we're protecting these animals, okay? There should be education. There should be alternate source of livelihood. There are not very many, honestly. If you look at them, they are less than 30. So if the government wants to give them an alternate source of livelihood, it's not difficult. NGOs like the one I represent, Wild Africa, we have come here before, and then we gave them Noila chickens and said, oh, stop selling pangolins, we'll replace it with Noila chickens. And they welcomed it. So if there are other sources of livelihoods and subventions like that, they would welcome it. They are not bad people. They just need to know better. Well, so the Noila whatnot, it was a pilot program. They didn't understand it as that. The program is supposed to be self-sustaining on their part. They were supposed to sell and then use the money to buy more Noila so that it's a self-sustaining thing. But I don't think they understood the process. They sold and spent the money. So it's long forgotten. And now they're saying, oh, either you give us more or you give us something else. Yeah. So I think if we were going to, well, we know where we failed now. So if we're going to do something like that again, we will let them know that it's supposed to be a self-sustaining model. Yeah. It's so expensive, but I'm begging her to see if she'll come for less because I don't get subventions from anywhere. It's my own money that I should use on me that I'm going to be using on him. But I really, really want to save him and see what I can do. This guy has been in captivity for a long time. You can tell this is a sign of weight loss. This folding skin. So it's dehydrated, everything. We'll try to save him.
Against every conservation rules he believes in, he had to pay to rescue this injured West African dwarf crocodile. It is the world's smallest crocodile, growing up to 1.8 meters. It is found alone or in pairs, in burrows, and the hollows of low-lying tree branches at the water's edge.
This is a bushmeat market where these animals are sold. Really, there's not much I can do. But I come to this market once in a while to see what's on the ground. And then I saw this chap with his injured arm. Really, he's going to be sold to be eaten. But I kind of felt pity for it. He's suffering, you see. If they would kill them right away and save them from suffering, it's a different ball game. But now he has a certain fate awaiting it. But even before then, he is suffering. This hand has been cut. You can see maggots in it. And he's in pains. And then infection is setting into the body. I really should turn my back and walk away. But I can't. This poor animal doesn't know the rules. He doesn't know that it's wrong to buy wildlife from the bushmeat table. Because when you buy from the bushmeat table, you're actually perpetuating the trade. You know, so they go into the forest to get more. But this poor guy is innocent, and he doesn't know that I should not buy it. And if I turn my back and I leave here, not going with him, I'll have my conscience to answer for. So I went against all odds. I was able to talk to them. They were asking for quite a hefty sum, but because they know me and they know that I am, well, weird in that way, I was able to beg them and talk to them, and they gave me for a small sum. So now I am happy. Yeah, which is a far cry from what they were asking for. So right now I'm able to rescue it. I'll take it now to the hospital. I'm going to amputate the arm, because if you look at the damage is quite extensive. I'm going to amputate the arm and then stitch it and give him another chance at life. He will be released back to the wild, maybe to the Nigerian Conservation Center, where we know that there are crocodiles that are protected. And he will be able to do well with 3 arms as long as his mouth is intact. So, well, that's what I do. It's a thankless job. But for this guy, I know it means all the world to him, because I am giving him a second lease on life. I'm giving him a chance to be again. I've been coming here for a long time, for years now, and then they know me as the crazy animal doctor. They really don't understand what I'm doing. I mean, this is something that I sold for food, and then I've come to rescue, I will treat, and I will release. They don't understand that concept. Over the years, we've had government coming here to ban them from selling certain animals and all that. They believe it's the work that I do, rescuing these animals, that is exposing them to the government. So yes, at times they really don't want to see me, But they have come to learn to tolerate my presence because I also bring other benefits to them. I have a club that works with their children, you know, teach them conservation and all that and help with their education. And then I also work with NGOs that brings benefits for them. So they've learned to accommodate my excesses. So the ban they were talking about was like, there are other animal markets in Lagos that I should go there, that I shouldn't focus on them alone. Well,
The area commander of the Nigerian Hunters and Forestry Security Services Ekpe Division heads the locals engaged in safeguarding the ecosystem and protecting endangered species in this area. The group has a team to monitor the killing and sales of pangolin.
Hunters are not happy. When they go inside the bush since morning or night, they came back and they see pangolin. They say they should not kill. I have to tell you the truth, they are killing it now. Now. Because there's nothing they will do. People are buying it from them like 60, 70. And they will feed their children, buy book. If they see, they kill. Some they kill too.
And because there's a market for it.
There's market for it. I need to say the government are paying them, no matter how small it is. They will not kill. But see, when they kill them or catch them, because it's very easy to catch. If you see them not with them with a stick, they will fall down before they wake up. You carry them and they fall themselves. It's not going anywhere.
The illegal wildlife trade in Nigeria is driven by a combination of demand for traditional medicine and food, as well as high-value species for the international trade in wildlife products. Nigeria's porous borders and weak law enforcement result in a transit hub for illegal wildlife trade, with traffickers using Nigeria as a transit point. To combat this issue, Nigeria has enacted various laws, but the implementation and enforcement of these laws remain a challenge. Ecologically speaking, pangolins play a critical role in their ecosystems. They are huge consumers of ants, termites, and other insects. If they were to go extinct, local insect populations will explode by the trillions.
Illegal trading is a multifaceted thing. It's hydra-headed. It's not something one individual or one organization can do. It's something that we have to attack as a nation. Okay, the government has a part, law enforcement against. We have quite a lot of issues in Nigeria. The laws are not enforced. Okay, thank God for now that we're having arrests of culprits. Before it used to be seizures in other countries. And we need the law to be enforced. We need the law enforcement agents to be on their toes and to make arrests, of culprits. Now, we know that they're arresting people at the border, but domestically, those laws are not enforced. If we have had some rallies in wildlife markets in Nigeria, so we're not targeting Ekpe. We have been to other markets, other wet markets in Nigeria. For example, last year, we were in Bode markets in Ibadan, where wildlife is sold. We found some endangered species, roasted, smoked, some were being sold live, So we went there to create awareness and to talk to the market women. So it is not Ekpe alone. I have also been to Ondo. There's a place we call Mureile in Ondo State. Okay. In fact, we had some research there some time ago. That is also another wet market. And all these markets are fueling the illegal trade. Okay, the international trade. There's a need for the government to domestically make sure that those laws are enforced. So that what we have in the Endangered Species Act, that if you are caught in possession, not just at the border, in possession of wildlife, you will be arrested. You will be made to pay a fine. You will go to jail. Then we are now talking.
While bushmeat is a top delicacy in Nigeria, the need for safer consumption practices is urgent. Public health experts urge Nigerians to explore domestic protein sources like chicken and to increase public awareness to mitigate risks. The World Health Organization states that about 60% of all infectious diseases are zoonotic, passing from animals to humans.
We are in the mode where we are preparing, we are learning, we are observing, we are monitoring, we are procuring certain equipment, consumables, laboratory reagents, clothing, and then we are making policies and guidelines. and then we are reviewing. Now, at that point, we're dealing with an unknown pathogen. Oftentimes, WHO will call it pathogen X. That is unknown. We don't know how it's going to come. Is it going to be zoonotic? Is it going to come from human? Is it going to be transmissible from human to human? Is it going to be transmissible from animal to human alone? When it's transmissible from human to human, is it going to be by the air we breathe in? Is it going to be by water? Is it going to be by touch? We actually do not know.
Nigeria, with a population of over 190 million people, is rated among the 10 countries with the highest burden of infectious and zoonotic disease globally. In the country, there exists a suboptimal surveillance system to monitor and track priority zoonoses. In developing countries like Nigeria, the burden of zoonotic diseases is often underestimated due to weak surveillance, poor awareness, and paucity of data. In most instances, only zoonotic diseases that cause pandemics and attract global concerns gain the attention of national policymakers and international partners in control and prevention, compared to endemic zoonotic diseases that impact rural communities sometimes more significantly. For example, the first avian influenza outbreak in Nigeria in 2006 attracted huge investment from both the national government and international agencies due to its pandemic nature, while rabies, a preventable and endemic disease with high mortality rates in different parts of the country, attracts little or no attention. Experts have campaigned that prioritizing zoonotic diseases is critical across countries for optimizing resources, improving surveillance, enhancing data quality, information dissemination, and risk communication, and promoting multi-sectoral collaboration.
So the preparation stage is often a multiple level of activity. As a matter of fact, in the present health security index that we're using now, it is often referred to as a multi-hazard, multi-sectoral emergency preparedness. That is to say, multi-hazard, different things. Multi-sectoral, different sectors. It could come from anywhere. So that is the preparation. However, when there is an event and we now have a pathogen, it is no longer a pathogen X. It has a name. We now know the mode of transmission. We know how to contract it. We know there are so many other terminology, the R-naught, that is to say how many people can get it from a primary source. So we know a lot of information around it. It becomes easier to deal with than previously when we do not know. And that is why in that realm of emergency preparedness and response, we have more activity, more thinking activity, more intellectual discussion and activity pre the event than when we have the event. During the event, what usually happens during the event is the implementation of these policies, these guidelines, and all the SOPs, the standard operating procedures that we would have deployed. Of course, there will be modification because now we know what we're dealing with, so we just think that. But already, because we have a foundation, it's easier to deploy, and then we implement during the response.
Agriculture is the economic mainstay of Nigeria, employing about 70% of the labor force, with livestock production accounting for between 6 and 8% of the national gross domestic product and 20 to 25% of agricultural GDP. Despite ten's valuable contribution, the livestock subsector is neglected and therefore prone to myriad of problems, one of which is weak veterinary care and support system. So creating huge opportunities for several livestock diseases, including those of zoonotic importance, to thrive and spread. This becomes more pronounced because livestock farming is mainly subsistence. Most households have close contact with domestic animals and are unaware of the public health implications of zoonotic diseases. The situation is further exacerbated by the intensification of livestock production due to the huge demand for animal protein, which favors the circulation of pathogens at the human-animal ecosystem interface.
We operated in silos: animal health, human health, environmental health. But the reality has come now so much that, as a matter of fact, the last health security assessment we did for a particular state, the state scored low because they didn't do enough in environmental and animal health. even though the health security is health, when you say health, you talk about human health. But now the ratings on animal health and environmental health is coming almost at par with human health now. So much that any government that is serious with health security needs to take human and animal health as seriously as it is taking human health. Now, when we have that, that means there is a collaboration. That means we are sitting down together now. What is the problem? Okay, human health. What is creating this human health? Animal health. Okay, animal health, how do we tackle it? We need to go and start from environmental health. So together, we would together form a decision. Environmental health. What do you want to do? This is what can we assist you with in what you want to do? Environmental health will say, I need human health to give me so and so data from time to time. I need animal health to be able to determine that only this kind of animal does this and this. And then they fulfill this. When they fulfill this, animal health is fulfilled. Human health have very next to little to deal with. Yes, that's the truth. Next to little to deal with. Another incident that is going on now is antimicrobial resistance. In those days, we were so focused on it because humans are misusing antimicrobials. But now it has been tracked to both environment and animals. Yet, so human beings develop AMR not because they are taking that particular antimicrobial before, but because they have consumed a particular chicken or beef where they have used that particular drug consistently. So we have sat down, we have identified that, and now we are working together to address it.
Responding to the surveillance outputs produced on such diseases, various responses as inscribed in the 2018 Health Security Plan in Nigeria have been earmarked, including developing integrated zoonotic disease surveillance system, strengthening laboratory capacity for detection of priority zoonotic diseases.
Achieving the end goal of an effective, fully integrated program for preventing and controlling zoonotic diseases has many possible approaches, but to succeed, we all must do our part. And with that, we end today's show. Thank you for watching. Our inbox Earthfile at channelstv.com is available for all your comments and questions. From me, Ayola Kasim, and the crew here in Lagos, it's bye for now.